There was a steak knife plunged into my front tire, air escaping with a hiss like a wounded beast, and a sparkly purple note taped to the windshield that read, "Next time steer clear of my spot. Meet Lisa, the HOA vice president." I hadn't even had my coffee yet, but I was already picturing how sweet Justice would taste when she realized she'd just committed felony property damage in a car owned by the county police chief, no less. It all kicked off 3 days earlier when my rusty old truck coughed its last breath in a Wendy's parking lot, not with a bang or a blaze worthy of a Viking send-off, just a pitiful wheeze and a puff of smoke. I was house-sitting for my sister, Emily, while she vacationed in Italy, and her husband, Tom, generously lent me his spare car. He called it his work ride but didn't elaborate. I assumed it was some beat-up government surplus sedan. I couldn't have been more wrong. This thing was a sleek, black beauty polished to perfection, with official plates that made people snap their seatbelts on quick. I parked it in the guest spot near Emily's place, went inside to warm up some pizza, and scrolled Reddit. Nothing out of the ordinary, or so I thought. The next morning I met Lisa while sipping coffee on the porch, watching a squirrel attempt acrobatics between trash cans. She strutted up like she owned the earth itself, big sun hat, clipboard, flip-flops slapping the pavement, and a gaudy mug that screamed HOA Queen. She jabbed a finger at the black car and snapped, "You need to move that. It's my spot." I blinked. "Sorry, I parked in the guest space. It's not marked." She flipped her clipboard with flair. "It's not marked because everyone knows it's mine. I've had it for 6 years, promised to me when I became VYC president." I raised an eyebrow. Verbal promises don't really hold up in HOA world, right? Her face twitched. "Are you even a resident here?" "Nope," I said with a grin, "just house-sitting for Emily. I cleared it with the HOA months ago." She narrowed her eyes. "What's your sister's name?" I told her. She snorted like it left a bad taste. "Typical." "Typical what?" I asked. She didn't answer, just glared at the car like it insulted her personally. "That car's suspicious. Government tags, are you spying on someone?" "Lady, I can barely spell HOA. I'm not spying on anything." She stormed off, tossing over her shoulder, "That spot better be empty tomorrow, or I'll handle it myself." I figured she meant an angry email or a pointless emergency meeting about parking etiquette. Classic HOA VY best, not felony territory. I was dead wrong. The next morning told a different story. I opened the door to a strange whistling sound, for flat tires, sagging like melted pancakes. I walked over, stunned, and knelt down. That's when I saw it. A steak knife stabbed deep into the rubber, its handle a tacky purple with glitter and rhinestones spelling boss. No subtlety, no hiding it. And that note of duct tape to the windshield, not just slipped under a wiper like a normal passive-aggressive nutcase. Lisa wasn't just mad, she was signing her declaration of war in style. I snapped a photo, then another, then a selfie with the note. This was prime r/entitled people material if I survived to post it. Tom showed up 15 minutes later to drop off a charger I'd left in his truck. He strolled over with a grin until he saw the tires. "What the hell happened?" he asked, crouching down. "Your neighbor Lisa," I said, holding up the note. "She says it's her spot." He read it, frowned, then stared at the car like it had betrayed him. "This is bad." "Yeah, tires aren't cheap." "No, Jake, this is my department-issued vehicle. It's got surveillance gear and it's registered to the sheriff's fleet." "She just trashed government property." I blinked. "Wait, you're not just a city cop?" "I'm the county police chief." I nearly choked. "The chief?" "Yep." We both eyed the note again. Tom pulled out his phone, opened an app I'd never seen, and pointed to a blinking red dot. "That's the dash cam. Motion triggered and still recording." We spent the next 10 minutes watching Lisa in action, strutting up at 5:48 a.m. in a bathrobe and slippers, pulling the knife from her purse like it was a grocery list item, and stabbing each tire with precision. She even paused to admire her work, hands on hips like she just hung a masterpiece, then laughed. Tom tapped the screen. "That's all we need. You pressing charges." "Oh, we're going way beyond that," he said with a quiet, dangerous smile. "We're pressing charges, getting her HOA seat yanked, and making sure everyone in this zip code sees this video." That's when I realized Lisa hadn't just messed with my borrowed ride / the tires of the wrong car. One with government backing, a hidden camera, and a police chief with the patience of a saint and the cunning of a MOVY lane. I grinned. "Mind if I stick around a few more days?" Tom clapped my back. Stay as long as you want. This place is about to get real interesting. And that's how a quiet house-sitting gig turned into the start of an HOA showdown. Lisa had no clue her little kingdom was about to fall tire by tire, meeting by meeting, lie by lie. Tom didn't waste a second. Within an hour of watching Lisa's tire-slashing performance, he was in full calm destruction mode. No yelling, no furious calls, just quiet efficiency. He gathered his gear, made a few calls, and printed forms from Emily's little printer next to the wine rack. The guy had the cool-headedness of a monk who doubles as a bounty hunter. When I asked what he was up to, he said, "Starting the paper trail." This isn't her first stunt, is it? It wasn't a question, could smell it. You don't leap from dirty looks to tire stabbing unless you've already decided rules don't apply to you. By noon we had 3 copies of the footage, one on a USB, one on a laptop, and one uploaded to Tom's department database. Then he turned to me. "Let's see how the HOA handles this first. If they do the right thing, maybe she gets a slap on the wrist. If not." He didn't finish, just flashed that not-so-friendly smile. We headed to the HOA office, a tiny prefab shack wedged between the clubhouse and a bone-dry fountain. A sign read "No walk-ins without appointment," which Tom ignored. He held the buzzer down for a solid 10 seconds. A voice crackled, "This is HOA property. Unless you have an appointment, it's about criminal damage to government property." Tom cut in, still pressing the button. "We've got footage." The door swung open fast. Inside was a cramped waiting room with old magazines and a fake plant on its last legs. Behind the desk sat a guy who looked like he regretted every choice that landed him there. His name tag read Greg, admin assistant. Tom laid it out calmly, showed the video, explained the car wasn't just personal but sheriff's department property assigned to him, the chief. Greg's eyes widened until they couldn't anymore. He asked us to wait while he called the HOA president. Then came the kicker. The president was on vacation and Lisa was acting interim president. The meeting was set for the next day at 5:00 p.m. per the bylaws. Property damage reports had to be reviewed within 24 hours. Lisa would be running the meeting to judge her own actions. It was like letting a fox guard the henhouse. Tom and I exchanged looks. I could see the trap forming in his mind. The next 24 hours were prep time. Tom dug into records while I strolled the neighborhood with an iced tea, chatting up residents. Turns out Lisa had been ruling this place like a petty dictator for years, fining people for wind chimes, banning kids' chalk drawings, even forcing someone to remove a Halloween skeleton for being too provocative. People had stories, tons of them. One old guy offered to email me a spreadsheet he'd kept. I thought he was kidding. He wasn't. The HOA meeting was in the community center, folding chairs, a lone mic, and a table up front with name tags. Lisa sat in the middle, flanked by 2 board members who looked like they'd rather be anywhere else. She wore a peach blazer, a CIVYC duty pin, and a smug grin. When we walked in, her nostrils flared. She didn't expect us, and she definitely didn't expect Tom's badge hanging around his neck. We took front row seats. Lisa cleared her throat. "We'll now begin the disciplinary hearing regarding unauthorized use of guest parking and the unfortunate tire deflation incident." Tire deflation, like they just got tired and quit. Tom raised a hand. "Actually, I'd like to present EVY Denke of criminal vandalism and property damage. We have VY Deo, and the vehicle belongs to law enforcement." Lisa tried to brush him off. "This is an internal HOA matter, not a courtroom." Tom stood, plugged the USB into the mic stand, and played the Fudugino words, just the VY Deo. The silence afterward was golden. A guy in the third row muttered, "Oh my God, she's actually stabbing it." Someone else said, "Is that a steak knife?" Another coughed and whispered, "She dressed up for this." Lisa's face locked up. She stammered, "That's Nodi mean, this VY Deo ISN, that could be anyone." Tom held up the knife handle in an EVY Denke bag. Pulled it from the tire. "It's been sent for prints, but the rhinestone boss handle kinda narrows it down." Silence again. Then Greg, bless him, leaned forward. "I moved to suspend Vice President Lisa pending investigation." Everyone voted yes except Lisa, who yelled, "This is a conspiracy. You're all jealous." "He's not even a real cop." Tom flashed his badge. "County Sheriff's Department, Chief of Police." "Want to test that in front of a judge?" Lisa bolted up, trembling, and tried to storm out. But the crowd shifted, phones out, cameras rolling. She tripped over a purse strap, shoved past an elderly couple, and fled, red-faced and fuming. Someone clapped. Then another. Soon half the room was cheering. Tom leaned in, voice low. This isn't over. She'll retaliate. People like her don't fade quietly. I nodded, adrenaline pumping. What's next? That not-so-friendly smile returned. Now we rally the neighborhood and start digging. You said she runs this place like a petty queen? Every queen has a stash. Let's find hers. And just like that, we weren't just defending anymore, we were on the attack. Lisa had no idea how many enemies she'd made until they all stepped up to the mic, one by one.